Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Awesome.
All right. Hello, and welcome to the Healthy Living Podcast. I am your host, Joe Grumbine, and I have back with me a very special guest. We have Christine Leakos, and I've been working with Christine for many years. She's a practitioner. She's just 2 clicks away from getting a doctorate degree, and just so excited to be working with her. And Christine has a line of products called No High CBD, and she's going to be talking about some of the products that she offers today. Christine, welcome back. It's so great to be working with you.
Hi, Joe. So glad to be back. And it's a summer season. So I figured
Yes.
I'd come back and share some knowledge out there for everyone. Because we're putting what I believe is things that are not good for us on our skin.
Yes, we are.
And,
All the time.
and we have to also consider that when we're applying heat, so the sun is hitting our skin, right?
Mhm.
When the sun hits our skin, there's a different reaction that's going on in its entirety. So if you have a chemical on there, you don't know potentially what damaging effects it's going to do long term.
Exactly.
So I have
You ever take a piece of glass and watch what happens when sunlight hits it just a little bit funny? And if it hits it one way, it'll throw a prism on the wall and be beautiful and have all the colors of the rainbow. If it hits it the other way, it starts a fire and will burn whatever's underneath it, literally.
right. That's right. That's right. So the sun being so powerful, we do need a form of protection, but why not go natural? And this is why I have the sunblock and the sunscreen. You know, nature's got its own limitations. So here it is at 15 SPF, but it's natural, 100% natural. You just have to reapply every hour or 2 hours, no big deal. But it's not going to be harmful for you, and it's not going to be harmful for the environment, which is very
Well, that sounds promising. And, you know, there are so many natural products, and even the word natural has turned into this catchphrase that, people have bastardized, like organic and all this other stuff. And, it's like, I'm almost afraid to use words that have real meaning anymore because people have taken and twisted them around so much. And they're like, well, it's natural. It used to be a dinosaur. Then it turned into oil. Then we turned it into parabens, and now you put it on and it gives you cancer, but it's natural because it used to be a dinosaur. And so you're like, oh, okay, I guess everything's natural, right? Because it's on the planet, so it came from the planet. You know, I think it's important that people get to know the makers of their products. They get to know their story. They get to know their motivation. We get hooked into doctors and their degrees and their knowledge, but what we don't realize is they're connected to these giant pharmaceutical company monsters that are telling them what to do. And if you knew that going into it, when a doctor writes you 10 prescriptions, you might go, that seems a little odd. And the same thing with these natural people. You had Bert from Burt's Bees 30 years ago doing good work. And then 10 years ago, they sold it to Clorox. When people see the name, they see Bert. I was like, oh, well, that's good stuff. Well, okay. A company that makes a really toxic group of products owns it now and sold it to you. I don't know. Is it the same? So I think it's important people get to know, and that's why you're here. We get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, well, these products are great. I mean, all natural substances. I mean, we're looking at things like aloe water, almond oil, zinc oxide, which is very important, as we all know, cacao butter, coconut oil, sunflower oil, and CBD isolate with rosemary oil. And guys, this is fantastic. And you know what else I want to bring to your attention? We not only have the sunscreen, but if you do get a little burnt, we have the solution to cool things down. We have the sun relief. This thing is so great.
Amazing.
It neutralizes the sting in your skin. And not only does it work well for sunburn, it also works well when you burn yourself in the kitchen.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I
It
would,
kind of burns the same thing. It doesn't matter whether the sun causes it, radiation causes it, or a hot stove. It's the same deal.
yeah, it's great stuff. Again, natural products. It's got aloe, which is very cooling. It's got the witch hazel, the nanoparticle CBD to reduce the inflammation, the chamomile to relax with the lavender, and it's got peppermint for cooling. And these are all based out of essential oils, amazing for your skin. And they work wonderful. I use them all the time. I'm going on vacation soon, so I actually will be bringing about 10 of these, and we'll be giving them out to all the girls that are coming with me on vacation.
That's a good idea. I think one of the problems that, we all have as, small business owners is you got so many hats you got to wear, and well, you're in school at the same time trying to run the business and all these things you're trying to do and running Spartan races and all the crazy stuff you're doing. It's like, how do you get enough energy to focus on something like marketing? And, that's a whole job in itself. Big companies, they got it easy. They just pay out millions of dollars and they hire it out and they have somebody who does that for them. But
Well, I do have to say, Joe, you and I have gone round and round. What do you do for energy? And Christine, what do you do for energy? The first thing we should do when we wake up in the morning is be grateful and thankful. Get in with your prayers, because
you bet.
without the creator, the mastermind of the universe,
You're
we
nothing.
can't succeed.
You're
We
a
can't,
pile of dust and water.
and thus you shall
Literally.
return.
Yeah.
So so I greatly advise that whatever it is you believe in, stick to that, and do your minor chores, brush your teeth, take a shower, make your bed, and do some stretching. Do some stretching, whether it's deep stretching or do a little bit of cardio, 25 sit-ups or and push-ups and squats.
You're
And you're
crazy
ready
like
for
me,
the
go
day.
out in your backyard with the shovel and dig a hole.
There you go. And get some sores on your hands from
There you
all the
go.
shoveling. I've had some experience with that. I know. And nothing gets you like dirt work in your yard.
Exactly.
Some good elbow grease. I think we all need that. We sit behind this computer and focus on our phones,
Yeah.
strain the backs of our necks. I'm going for physical
Exactly.
therapy
How many
right
people know how to look this way anymore? Everybody's busy looking this way.
now. Yeah. I'm going for physical therapy right now for my neck. And
Okay.
it's just because I've been hovering over this computer so much. So you
Uh-huh.
constantly have to remind yourself to stretch and
Right.
increase circulation throughout your body, because blood is healing, believe it or not.
It is. It's where everything that you need comes from and goes to. It's that blood, and people don't really, you think about blood, it's that, red gooey stuff that happens when you get hurt. But the truth is, it's the thing that's bringing oxygen to your brain every second of every minute of every day. And if it isn't doing it well, where does your energy come from? It comes from your blood. That's where it comes from.
Well, you also have to consume great food, and
Yeah,
you are growing quite the garden. I just wish I lived closer, because I read
I know.
stuff constantly. I'm always at farmers market.
Yeah. Well, as we get you out, I know we were just talking about you coming out to the gardens and doing some diagnostic sessions, and that's always been my sinister plot, is to get capable, qualified people come out to the gardens and start doing some healing. And it's slowly happening, and it's really exciting because to create something out of nothing, as you know, is just a huge amount of work that most people don't ever even think they can take on, much less try to take on, much less take on. And when you do it, you don't see anything until you've already done all the work. Like, all the work happens before the physical work starts. And then once the physical work starts, you still don't see anything until the finishing touches are getting put on. And that's when you can begin to notice that something got done. Meanwhile, you're exhausted and your hands are bleeding and you've done all this work, but nothing comes of it. Well, we're at that point right now. You're getting to the end of well, it's never the end, but of your formal training. You're coming into a place where you'll be able to use this training And, we've been developing these gardens for 25, 27 years, and they're now matured to where people are being healed in them, and we're growing food and medicine in them. And to bring all this stuff together is just super exciting. And, it's funny because over the years of doing all this, people have come and gone, and you watch the people that come and go, and you think to yourself, wow, it's too bad that person didn't stick around, because had they stuck around, they would have finally seen what we got now. And you were one of these people that came out of nowhere. It was just you're this lesson in my life that says just always stay on point, always be ready, and amazing things can happen even from the most unlikely places, because you came to me with a problem from somebody else that I barely knew, that had something to do with a product that I made. And I just happened to see something you were doing, and I just happened to pop in and tap on your shoulder, and out of nowhere, we started this strange relationship where, you started consulting with me and going down this journey. And through this whole time, there's been all kinds of ups and downs and sideways and struggles and problems, but that's when you see who people really are. And that's how you see, when you get to the end of a long journey personally, like you're doing and I'm doing, we're doing these parallel journeys where you're working really hard trying to accomplish a thing. I'm working really hard trying to accomplish a thing, but we're sort of weaving this tapestry together, because the thing you're doing complements the thing I'm doing, and the thing I'm doing complements the thing you're doing. And after doing it for long enough, you can really evaluate a situation and go, oh, all right, I think we got something here. And I think that's really exciting. And it's great to have you coming back as a recurring guest, because as I told you from the beginning, once we get to know you, this becomes a platform that people can, connect with you through. But at the same time, it gives you a way to connect with people that you don't know, just kind of like how you came into my life. So I think it's a great a testimony of just keeping your head right, keeping your dreams and what you measure things against, keeping your integrity strong. If I didn't have integrity, I never would have reached out to you. I wouldn't have cared. I would just been about the money, and I already got the money. So who cared, right? Well, when something isn't right and you realize that your name's on it, whether you see it or know it or don't, then things start mattering, that, it's just the money people don't care about. And I think that that's important, because we live in this crazy world now where misinformation is everywhere, and truths are wrapped up in lies, which are dangerous, and lies are wrapped up in truths, which are even more dangerous. And there is still good people doing good work, and there still is truth, and there still is integrity, and there still is kindness and love and healing. And we just have to find it, cultivate it, share it, and create this community that knows where it's at and embraces it. And then all of a sudden we create a safe place that's healing and nurturing, and that we all need and love. So I'm glad you're a part of this.
Yeah, me too. I just can't wait to have a little bit of time, and then schedule time to go out there and help people with their energy and diagnostic testing, such as where's the energy level at, where's the chronic inflammation, where's the acute inflammation, and really go through different areas in your body to reduce some of this stress, so that to help people feel better. It's really interesting, this technology, but I'm looking forward to diving into it very soon.
Well, I would say that maybe the next episode that we do, why don't we talk about this technology? I was telling you, we recently did an interview with a guy who had a technology that is in that genre. It was kind of Tesla inspired, and these forces that are all around us and part of us that we don't recognize or see or use, and they're there. And some people have figured these things out, and you're working with a technology that I became exposed to several years ago. And like I was telling you before we got started, there's just so much to know. I wish I had, 10 more of me. I could just assign one to just learn and study this one thing because it's got so much promise. But you are doing that, and hopefully the next episode we shoot, we can talk about what you're doing and let people know that it'll be available. Like, just a teaser on that, I guess. So many people with Lyme disease, people with Hashimoto, people with Epstein-Barr, all these,
Well, the interesting thing is that legally we can't really diagnose. So the machine
Right.
just basically measures your energy. And what we're treating is your energy.
Right.
We're not diagnosing you.
Exactly.
We're not here to cure anything.
Nope.
But what we are here to do is to reduce your stress,
There you go.
reduce your oxidative stress. Where is it in the body? So that you can feel better, so you can sleep better, so you can
Right.
focus and you can continue with your daily life without the aches and the pains and the
Right.
worries and the concerns and everything else. So, people don't, there's some people that don't really believe in energy. I went through a very scary situation not too long ago where I think God put me in that situation to say, energy is real. Pay attention. It knocked me to my core. Hands and knees, I was completely depleted, but I had to go through that journey to fully understand that energy does exist.
Huh?
You have to respect it.
Yep.
And we are what we think. We
Yeah.
are what we eat. We are what we cultivate. It's like you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
That is not just a saying. That is an understanding on so many different facets of life. And I'll give you an example. Your spouse passes away.
Mhm.
That is your heart, soul. You can't see yourself without that person, right?
Right.
Now that person dies and you don't grieve.
Right.
If you don't grieve, based on Chinese medicine, that drains your lungs.
Mhm.
Because you're one of the first things you do is when someone's dying, and you're constantly doing.
Right.
So just recently, I scanned someone that's never lit a cigarette, smoked weed, nothing, never smoked in their life. Their lungs, the energy in their lung was so saturated with darkness
Wow.
that I was having difficulties getting rid of some of the negative that was surrounding the heart area. So then I asked the person, I said, if you haven't smoked, have you gone through serious grief and trauma? And she
Right.
said, yeah, my dad died and I never grieved him. I
There
said,
you
well, you
go.
have to slowly go through some therapeutic sessions and try to let that go because those emotions are harming you.
Right.
So it's not about diagnosing, it's about helping people live better.
Nice. I like it. As we're, like you said, not medical professionals, we don't have an MD after our name. And if you don't have that, you don't get to talk about medicine. And
Right.
people don't realize that, you've gone from the old school days 1,000 years ago to you just talk to the old person and they'll tell you what to do, to now you have to have a piece of paper in this particular place or you get thrown in jail, and it's scary. So we've had to learn as, whatever healers, if you want to say that word, you learn a different language and you learn a different approach of presenting the same material that says, oh, no, we're not doing that thing. We're just doing this little thing that helps you feel better. It's a good thing. So that's good. I'm glad we're sharing knowledge and language and things that are going to help. There's a lot of people that make the mistake of making medical claims and then they come back and find FDA crawling up their nether regions, and it's never pleasant and it never helps. So this is
Yeah, there's been some holistic healers and practitioners that come on and say, go on social media and say, well, let's move your chi, and they'll start tapping everywhere. Come on, tapping's been one of those therapeutic things that we've used to
right.
get you out of the zone.
Yeah.
We tend to get in the zone and get stuck there. So how do you get out of it? By tapping. And that's
Yeah.
one way to move the energy through the meridians and move the chi.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he was pretty much dinged on social media, and they pretty much said that he was soliciting medical advice. I
Yeah,
don't quite understand the correlation here, but they're utilizing AI to monitor these things and
yeah.
keywords that people may use. So the
Uh-huh.
important thing is to not trigger those things so we don't get
Exactly.
dinged in social media
Yeah,
and stop our videos from being viewed.
exactly.
So Joe, thank you for the time today. I
Yeah,
truly appreciate it. I'm glad to be back, and we have to do more of these moving
I'm
forward.
looking forward to it. I told you sooner or later it'd catch on. All right,
Yes.
how does somebody get a hold of you if they're trying to reach you?
Well, right now, as we speak, I am building an extension onto my Nohi CBD website. So it's www.nohicbd.com. There's going to be an extension, and pretty much on every page of the website, if you want to have a consultation with me, you'll jump onto my calendar, fill out a form, and we'll get talking and working together.
Fantastic. Well, Christine, thank you so much. This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast brought to you by Willow Creek Springs. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Joe. Take
All
care.
right, take care.